Hi, I'm Nate Seberg, and this is One Day Ahead. Welcome to the Teaching of Mice and Men series. So, I told you in the unit overview video that in Chapter 3, we're going to throw some philosophers at our students. This video is here to help you prepare for that lesson. Let me back up. So, Chapter 3. In a brutal and gutting scene, the guys decide to kill Candy's dog. It's awful, morally fraught, and an utter gift to teachers around the world because we get to use this puppycide to equip our students with some frameworks that they can later apply to the killing of Lenny at the end of the book, which they're going to discuss in the Socratic seminar. Again, if you're not following me, go check out the unit overview video. So the doggy killing is horrible, but in my experience, students can discuss this event with an openness that they just can't access when it comes to Lenny. I don't make the rules, that's just how humans are. So what we're gonna do after the dog is killed is throw 3 foundational philosophers at students and ask them to explore their philosophical perspectives broadly before applying those perspectives to the morality, really the ethics of the doggy murder. I'm here to school you up, first of all, on the philosophy itself so that you look like a genius, and then also walk you through the mechanics of actually connecting the kids with the philosophers so that you can execute this lesson in your classroom. Got it? Cool. So, the first philosophy that we're going to look at comes from Immanuel Kant. He's an 18th century German philosopher who, by all accounts, spent most of his time walking the same path to work every day and thinking very hard about what makes an action moral. Like, what makes something right or wrong. His whole thing is that morality has to be based on rules, not outcomes, not feelings, rules. He believed that there are certain duties we all have and that those duties come from reason itself, not from religion or consequences or context. Like, if it is wrong to lie, then it's wrong to lie always. Even if lying would save someone's life, it's wrong. So if your grandma asks how her dinner tastes and you really want to spare her feelings, nope. She asked and the meatloaf is dry. Screw you, Nana, it's dry. Here's the example I like to set students up with. Let's say your best friend's sister is sick, like really, really sick, and the only way to save her life is to steal medicine from a pharmacy because you can't afford it. Kant would say, don't steal it, because stealing is always wrong, flat out. There is no it's wrong, but the sentence ends with the rule, not with the outcome. And the rule is this, don't steal. So if we apply this to Candy's dog, Kant is going to say it was wrong to kill it. Not because it was a beloved pet, not because Candy was heartbroken, not because it made Carlson look like a jerk, but because killing is just wrong, period. Even if it seemed like the practical or merciful choice. The moral law doesn't bend just because things get hard. Grandma's tears and friends' dead sisters don't change that. Now, number 2, Jeremy Bentham is going to give you very different vibes. He's also an 18th century philosopher, British this time, and while Kant was out here saying follow the rule no matter what, Bentham was like, hold on, let's do the math. His whole thing is utilitarianism, and the idea is super simple. An action is moral if it leads to the greatest happiness for the greatest number of people. That's it. Count the pleasure, count the pain, add up the consequences. If more people are better off, then it was the right thing to do. So back up to our example. Your best friend's sister is dying. The only way to save her is to steal the medicine? Bentham? 100% go steal it. The pharmacist loses some profit, but somebody's life is saved. That is easy moral math. The right thing to do is the thing that creates the most good. And just to double click into this for a second, Bentham is famous for caring about suffering, and he means any suffering. He's one of the first Western thinkers to seriously argue that animals matter morally. His line is, the question is not can they reason, nor can they talk, but can they suffer? And if the answer is yes, then their pain counts. Now apply this to Candy's dog. Bentham would say the killing was sad, yes, but ultimately it was the right call. The dog was suffering, the men in the bunkhouse were uncomfortable, Carlson wanted it gone, and Candy was the only one who was really in pain about it, and even he didn't stop it. So the overall outcome, more comfort, less suffering, therefore moral. Not easy, not fun, but add up the outcomes. It's a math problem. Finally, number 3, we have Aristotle. We're talking ancient Greece here. Scandals, scrolls, walking around doing this all the time. His whole approach is very different from Kant's hard rules or Bentham's moral math. Aristotle's focus is on character. Who are you becoming through your actions? That was his question. What kind of person are you training yourself up to be? His philosophy is called virtue ethics. For him, morality isn't about following strict rules or calculating outcomes. It's about practicing good habits, making thoughtful choices, and developing into a virtuous person over time. According to Aristotle, virtue sits between two extremes. What's the proper way to conduct yourself in a battle? You don't want to be cowardly, but you also don't want to be overly reckless. Courage is the virtue because it's balanced in the middle. The same goes for honesty, generosity, patience. Find the middle. That's where the virtue lies. So the medicine story. Your best friend's sister is dying, and you can save her by stealing it. Aristotle wouldn't just ask, what's the rule here, or who suffers more? He'd ask, what kind of person would this action make you? If stealing the medicine reflects compassion, courage, and a sense of justice, then maybe it is the right thing. But if it turns you into someone who cheats or acts selfishly, if you did it so that you can post about it on Instagram to chase more followers, then that's a red flag. It's less about the act and more about who you are becoming through the act. Now apply that to Candy's dog. Aristotle's going to ask what this decision says about Carlson. Is he acting out of wisdom and compassion? Is he helping the group? Or is he just being callous and impatient and thinking about himself? And what about Candy? Did he act with integrity? Or did he betray a bond? Aristotle would say the morality of this moment depends on who these men are and what kind of character they're shaping in themselves. It's not a simple yes or no with him. It's about virtue. Are they growing into better people or worse ones? So let's recap. Kant, rules are king. Right is right, wrong is wrong, killing is wrong, no matter the outcome, no matter the excuse. Screw you, Nana. Number 2, Bentham, outcomes are king. The goal is to reduce suffering and increase happiness. If more people or animals end up better off, ironically the dog's dead, it's the right call. Aristotle, character is king. Morality is about who you are becoming. Every choice shapes your character, so ask, what kind of person does this action help you become? That is where you are leading students here. Those are the 3 philosophers students will meet as they consider the ethics of this doggy murder. Now let's talk about how we're going to get there. We are going to have students converse with the philosophers themselves. Using AI, we are going to let the philosophers do the convincing for us. There are 2 main ways that we can make this happen. The first is by using sites like character.ai. There's a bunch of them, but that's the one I know. This site lets students chat directly with pre-built personas of each philosopher. They can ask questions like, what makes something morally right or wrong? Would you steal medicine to save someone's life? Do you think people should ever be allowed to lie? The lesson plans I gave you have you start them out really broad. The goal for students is to really grasp the logic of their philosopher before they narrow to applying to Candy's dog. Now, character.ai does require students to create a free account, so if your school's tech makes that tricky, no worries. Your second option is to use any AI chatbot, like ChatGPT or whatever. Just give students the included prompt from the lesson plan. They copy and paste that to the bot, and it will adopt the personality of one of our 3 philosophers, landing them in roughly the same place as the character.ai. Again, chat about the philosophy first, ask about the dog last. Final things, I have each student just take one of the 3 philosophers. Then later I have them group up with the other 2 and they adopt that philosophy and they argue about the ethics of killing the dog from their point of view. The details, discussion prompts, and directions about integrating this into your classroom are covered in the lesson plan. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Next up, we're going to look at how I structure Socratic seminars generally, and this Socratic seminar specifically. That, along with the whole series and free teaching materials, are available right now on my website. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on One Day Ahead.